Hello guys, welcome to a short video on YouTube. Renault has just launched the facelifted Tribe, which it looks very different when compared to the current generation, the pre-facelift model. And I do apologize for not having a full video on how the car looks inside and out, but I have some photos that we can work with. So yeah, I will give you guys a quick rundown on the facelifted Tribe, what to expect when it lands here next year in South Africa. So enjoy the rest of the video regarding to the Tribe, and if you are new to my YouTube channel, then please consider to subscribe to my YouTube channel and smash that bell icon so that you don't miss a new video coming to the channel. Anyway, let's get on with the Tribe facelift. Right, let's start at the front end of the Renault Tribe, which as you can see there, you have a redesigned front end with a lower part which it will remind you of the current generation Renault Duster, the new Renault logo in the middle with some new grills, which again that will also remind you of a Renault Capture, some redesigned headlights with your LED daytime running lights on the top, and some redesigned air vents. So yeah, this is how your front end looks of the new facelifted Renault Tribe. And this is how the outgoing Renault Tribe's front end looks. Let me know in the comments down below which of the two do you prefer. Coming to the side profile of the Renault Tribe, its side profile does look very identical to the pre-facelift model, but you have some new wheels, which on that particular model is a 15-inch wheel with 185/65 profile. So the same as the pre-facelift model, but you have some new design for the top model's wheels. And I think that looks quite nice for a 7-seater family MPV van that is around the same size as a previous generation Renault Sandero. And finally, we come to the rear end of the facelifted Tribe, which we have a redesigned rear end. Like for example, your tail lights are redesigned. Your Renault logo is now placed in the middle. Your Tribe lettering is now placed down below near the end of the bootlet. And some nice design changes to the rear end of the Renault Tribe. This is how the outgoing Renault Tribe's rear end looks. So let me know in the comments down below which one do you prefer, the facelift model's rear end or the pre-facelift Tribe's rear end. So overall, I think the Renault Tribe, the facelifted model, does look far more smarter than the outgoing model. But I know some people will still prefer the design of the pre-facelift Tribe, but that is their own business. Let's get to the engines real quick. And that is where I want to discuss to you about that. If you were hoping for a turbocharged Renault Tribe, then I'm sorry, you will definitely be disappointed. The facelifted Tribe still has a 1-liter 3-cylinder naturally aspirated engine, which means it produces 72 PS of power, that is 52 kilowatt and 96 Newton meters of torque, driving the front wheels via a 5-speed manual gearbox or a 5-speed AMT gearbox, which stands for automated manual transmission. And to be honest, when you are driving the Renault Tribe with people in it, you will definitely be struggling, especially when you are driving up hills. And I have driven the Renault Tribe quite a number of times, so I know how that car is performing on the road. And I wanted them to put in a 1-liter turbo from the Renault Kiger. I mean, that is a good engine to put in a 7-seater family MPV. Not a silly little 1-liter 3-cylinder naturally aspirated engine. You will have some problem. And I mean, that engine is fine in a Renault Quid because it is much more lighter than a Renault Tribe, but in a Renault Tribe, that is a bad idea if you ask me. And what is funny, most of the people are using the Renault Tribe as a as a public transport, for scholar transport, for love club or whatever. So I can imagine with more than 4 people on board, that car will struggle very badly. But I guess if you are putting a turbocharged motor in the Triber, then it will unfortunately push up the price, which that is always a bad thing if you ask me. Now let's get on to the interior of the Renault Triber to see what has been changed there. Right now we are talking about the interiors of the updated Renault Triber. This is how your outgoing Renault Triber's interior looks. And this is how your facelifted Renault Triber's interior look. As you can see there on the facelifted Renault Triber, the screens are now on the top and the air vents are now placed down below the touchscreen. You still get a 8-inch screen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, USB-A to plug in for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You have a 7-inch driver display. I guess that will be on the top model, intense model, with some cruise control. That is new for a Renault Triber, I have to say. You now get cruise control on a Renault Triber. You have your stop-start button. You have your two glove box, which one of them can be cooled down for your summertime drinks. And you have a wireless charging in that Renault Triber for your phone that can do wireless charging. So I think that is a nice idea. And also you get an armrest for the driver. And I know what you are guys thinking. Cream interior, what the hell? Why would you put a cream interior in a family 7-seater MPV? That will be disastrous if you ask me. But I think that is the only color that you can get on a Renault Triber, which I think that is the top model, once again intense version. So if you are buying a Renault Triber and you are quite OCD about keeping your interior clean, then I would suggest you to take your car to a car wash every day if you want to clean out the interior and to look like brand new. Now let us get to the safety front of the Renault Triber. In terms of the Renault Triber safety, that has been upgraded as well. As standard, you get 6 airbags across the range. So it is an improvement when comparing to some models having 2 airbags and the top model intense model having 4 airbags. So it is an improvement. You get 3-point seat belts, some baby seat mountings for your Triber, which it was definitely needed considering the car is marketed to families and especially to people that are making babies like nobody's business. You get obviously ABS with EBD, the ESP, tire pressure monitoring, front parking sensors, take a brake reminder, pedestrian protection, follow me headlights, and many others. I think that is a good overall upgrade when comparing to the pre-facelift Renault Triber. The facelifted Renault Triber will still be built at the Chennai plant in India, and we are expecting the Renault Triber to come to South Africa sometime next year. So I cannot wait to get a Triber on my hands and to do a review for you guys and to see how the car performs, whether they make some changes to the engine like its responsiveness or whatever, or to the gearing, because I hate that gearing in the Triber where at barely 100 kilometers an hour your revs are sitting around just over 3,100 RPM. And if you are driving 120 kilometers an hour on the N1, then the revs will be around 4,000 RPM. So it is a bit more than the Renault Quid, which is quite interesting. And you can still pick up a base model live Renault Triber for 228,999 Rand. A Renault Triber Zen will cost you around 238,999 Rand. And the top model intense version, which it will cost you around 264,999 Rand. And also there is a van version called the Express, and that car will set you back around 266,999 Rand. So yeah, those are the prices for the outgoing Renault Tiber. And when the Renault Tiber comes to South Africa next year, these are what you can expect on how they will look in terms of the trims. Starting with the base model, light model, which it will look like this. Followed by the Z model, which it will look like this, potentially. And the top model called the intense version, which it will look like this. As you guys can see there, that is how your Renault Tiber could potentially look when it lands here in South Africa next year. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and smash that bell icon so that you don't miss a new video coming to your channel. And one of the videos will be posted after this one will be the part 3 of my Renault quad. So stay tuned for that. So I will see you guys in that video pretty soon. And also to the other videos that will be followed up after the Renault quad, like the Jayco J5, the Omoda C7, the Oppo Grandland, and many others. Shop shop.